Please be seated. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Bonjour, mesdames et messieurs. Welcome to the 2020 Investiture ceremony for the Order of Prince Edward Island. Her Honor, the Honorable Antoinette Perry, Premier Dennis King, and other distinguished guests, welcome. My name is Gerard Greenan, and I am the chair of the Order of Prince Edward Island Advisory Council, and I am pleased to be the Master of Ceremonies for today's event. We are extremely pleased to be able to come together during these uncertain times, as the majority of the investiture ceremonies across the country have been postponed until 2021. So a special thank you to the Chancellor for hosting our special celebration today. At this time, I would like to invite you to stand for an invocation and prayer for the Prince Edward Island Order of Merit. Please stand. God, Great Spirit, Creator of the universe, we ask your blessing upon Queen Elizabeth, our sovereign. We ask your blessing, too, upon the Chancellor and the members of the Order of Prince Edward Island. We acknowledge with gratitude their standards of excellence, the gifts of their time and talents, and their devotion to the common good. Grant to all of us the desire and will to follow their example of generosity and service to others. We give thanks for the members of the Order who have departed this life and are at rest. May we fulfill our responsibilities as grateful and loyal citizens, mindful of the well-being of all your people. Amen. At this time, we invite Elder Judy Clark to deliver the Mi'kmaq prayer for the Abiguet First Nations.
Nina Dalavisi Sudik, Hakatiko Sissy Babit, Ababe Kipu David. And Chili Dark will be good. I want to thank you for allowing me to be part of this ceremony today. I want to also say that this is the territory of Mi'kmaq in the district of Ebiguit. And today I also want to recognize that in a lot of schools across this country, it is Orange Shirt Day in our Mi'kmaq and our indigenous nations, and it is the recognition of the children who attended residential school. So with that, I want to acknowledge also the survivors of those schools today and all our children in the schools that are having that knowledge and educated on our way of life and from the past. I also want to acknowledge Your Honor, distinguished guests, and our recipients. Creator, thank you for this day you have given us. Thank you for allowing us to gather here today, and we ask you to enter where you are so your teachings will work in us. We ask for wisdom so that we will know that what is good in the world. We ask for love so that we can spread your love everywhere. We ask for respect so that we will know that everyone comes from one place, from you. We ask for bravery so that we will not be afraid to do your work. We ask for honesty so that no one will harm one another. We ask for humility so that no one will be superior to another. And Creator, we ask for truth so that we will see you in the future on our last day with a clean heart and spirit. Thank you.
Please be seated. The Order of Prince Edward Island is the highest honor the province can bestow. It gives public recognition to individual islanders whose efforts and accomplishments have been exemplary. There are many citizens who make remarkable contributions to the social, economic, and cultural life of our province, and its people, and the Order of Prince Edward Island is a unique opportunity to honor them. I would now invite Her Honor, the Chancellor of the Order of Prince Edward Island, and the Lieutenant Governor of the province, the Honourable Antoinette Perry, to please give us her remarks.
Honourable Mr. Premier Dennis King, Chair of the Advisory Council, Gerard Greenan, recipients, your invited guests, and all who are joining us online to witness this special ceremony. Good morning, bonjour, kwe. As Her Majesty's representative in Prince Edward Island, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you to Government House, and more especially in these unusual times, for the investiture ceremony for 3 outstanding islanders to the Order of Prince Edward Island. Bienvenue à la Maison du Gouvernement pour la cérémonie d'investiture de 3 insulaires exceptionnels à l'ordre de l'île du Prince-Édouard. In the spirit of meaningful reconciliation, I too wish to acknowledge our presence on the traditional land of the Mi'kmaq people. This kinship and connection endures through the special relationship that exists between the Queen of Canada and the Mi'kmaq people. As Chancellor, I am honoured and pleased to confer the Order of Prince Edward Island on 3 very exceptional individuals, Olive Bryanton, Henry Purdy, and Bev Simpson, for your significant contributions to the social, cultural, and economic life of our province and its residents. You are exemplary role models who have demonstrated outstanding leadership, citizenship, and excellence in your selfless and caring service to Islanders. You, along with all members of the Order of PEI, truly demonstrate the island way of life through your generosity, volunteerism, and sense of community. Il est très important de reconnaître nos citoyens remarquables qui, à leur manière individuelle et par leur générosité et leur engagement, font des contributions inestimables à l'avancement de leur communauté. Leur esprit de bénévolat mérite de la reconnaissance et l'admiration de tous. On behalf of Her Majesty, our Queen of Canada, I congratulate you, distinguished recipients, and as I welcome you into the prestigious Order of Prince Edward Island. You are about to become officially part of our recorded history. I extend my best wishes also to your families for their loving care and support. I wish to express my gratitude to nominators and presenters for your generosity and thoughtfulness in presenting today's recipients. Mr. Premier, I thank you for your steadfast support and leadership in celebrating Islanders. I offer my sincere thanks and appreciation to Chair Gerard Greenan and to your Advisory Council, and as well to Secretary Joanne Holden for your interest and dedication and tireless efforts. Congratulations and best wishes. Thank you. Merci. Walalia.
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, I invite the Premier, the Honourable Dennis King, to give us his remarks.
Well, thank you very much, Gerard, and Your Honor. Thank you for hosting us again here today. And let me say, as I often do when I have to follow you, it is a daunting task to follow such an eloquent and meaningful speaker who chooses her words so wisely, but always when you have something to say, it's worth listening to. So thank you very much. And let me also say that during the time that has been COVID, my office was inundated with emails and calls asking how the Lieutenant Governor was, because she had such a brisk schedule before. We hadn't seen her for a long time. And people wanted to know she was safe and doing well. So you have captured the hearts of Islanders in the way you've gone about your job. So well done. And so welcome and thanks. Gerard as well, thank you to you and your committee for another wonderful and difficult job to take this on and to narrow the field down to these three incredible Islanders. So congratulations to our recipients and their families and friends who are all part of our journeys in our individual ways. I also want to say hello to my colleague and friend, the former Premier Wade McLaughlin. When we met, Wade, in your office a long time ago, and I asked you what to expect in this job, you said, expect the unexpected. So you were quite a visionary in that regard, because I don't think any of us expected what would unfold beyond. But as I've done many, many times, thank you for leaving things the way they have been left, and it's made the job that we have done collectively as Islanders easier. So thank you and welcome. And all who are joined here, welcome. For nearly a half a century, the Order of Prince Edward Island has allowed our province to recognize and thank Islanders who have shown individual excellence and outstanding leadership in our communities or in their chosen occupations or professions. Like those who have been invested in the Order before, this year's recipients reflect the values that we hold so dear as Islanders. As Islanders, we have always been inspired by the communities in which we live in and the people who live in them. For the past 6 months, we have been able to carefully navigate the unimaginable challenges of this global pandemic by coming together, relying on that sense of community, that strength of community, by finding comfort in the kindness of our neighbors, and by sharing a deep resolve to come out of this trying time by being resilient. What makes Prince Edward Island such a unique place to live is that we care about each other and that we come together to support one another at most difficult times, and we have lived that so feverishly these last 7 months. Today we come together to recognize three tenacious innovators, creative thinkers, and inspiring community leaders, all in their own right. This year's Order of PEI recipients, I would safely say, are trailblazers who have spent their lives making our province better by following their own path and by charting their own course. Each of you have made tremendous contributions to the social, cultural, and economic well-being of this province and are most truly deserving of our Prince Edward Island's highest honor, the Order of Prince Edward Island. While your backgrounds may be diverse, you have never been afraid to break new ground, and you're an inspiration to all of us through your personal achievements and your commitment to your community and to this province. You are shining examples of the very best of Prince Edward Island, and a reminder that our most valuable resource has been and always will be our people. When I think of Henry Purdy, I think of President John F. Kennedy, the great patron of the arts, who once famously said that if art is to nourish the roots of our culture, then society must set the artists free to follow their vision wherever it takes them. And Henry, I'm grateful your vision has led you here to Prince Edward Island. Your contributions go far beyond your wonderful artistic creations. You have made this province better by inspiring thousands to explore their own artistic vision. So thank you very much and congratulations. Olive Bryanton, a constituent of the electoral district I represent, District 15, Hunter River Brackley. I've thought a lot about what I would say and could say, but I first met Olive when I was, she probably wouldn't remember this, but I was a much younger and thinner features writer at The Guardian, and she was with the PEI Seniors Federation. And I knew right away when I met her, I was taken with her energy, with her determination and her commitment to enhancing the lives of those she represented. And I can see all these years later, not much has changed. When I look at the incredible dedication and determination of Olive, I'm reminded that learning is the single biggest investment that we can make. And if Warren Buffett is right in saying that knowledge is the new money, then Olive, you're rich. And you've made very wise investments that even a worldwide pandemic can't damage. So congratulations, and we're all proud of you. Bev Simpson, I think when you look at today, and you look at the current business model of today, those who are leading the shrinking worldwide economy are those that have been successful, not limiting themselves to one storefront or one bricks and mortar location or one town or city or village. They are the companies that take a product from one place, anywhere in the world, and send it efficiently and successfully to another place, anywhere in the world. You think of companies like Amazon and eBay. Well, Vessi Seeds have been doing that for over 60 years. When you look at the history, the sustained strength, and the diversity of Vessi Seeds, it's difficult not to marvel at what might be perhaps the island's greatest business success story. The world markets have changed, the products have evolved, but one thing has remained consistent, and that is Bev Simpson. The passion, the vision, the determination, the dedication, the desire to get up every day and make a difference, that has made this island company a great success. And just as important, the love and dedication of family and community into this province has remained the bedrock of Vessi Seeds and of Bev Simpson individually. Never one to seek the spotlight, Bev has led a team through decades of what can only be described as incredible change, turbulent times, numerous recessions, and now a worldwide pandemic. Yet they remain successful, they remain strong, and they remain the island's success story. So congratulations, Bev, on a job well done. So on behalf of all Prince Edward Islanders, I extend my sincere congratulations to each and every one of you. I know the difficulty of the job of the committee to narrow down a wide field to make this presentation annually. They always find a way to get it right, and when I look at you three here today, we've gotten it right. So thank you very much, and congratulations, you're most deserving. Thank you.
Thank you, Premier. We will now proceed with the investiture of the new members of the Order of Prince Edward Island for 2020. And just a special note about our ceremony today. In keeping with social distancing, if the person introducing the nominee or a family member is placing the medal around the inductee's neck, we ask that you move to the side or return to your seat so that the photo of Her Honor, the Premier, and the recipient can take place. Thank you for your cooperation with this, and please feel free to wear the mask when you're coming to the podium to speak, if you wish. At this time, I would like to invite Deborah Bryanton, daughter of our inductee, to the podium.
Good morning, everyone. Aren't we blessed to have Government House available to us for events such as this? And thanks to the graciousness of our Lieutenant Governor, she has, as Lieutenant Governors before her, have made this beautiful house available for the public. Your Honor, Mr. Premier, Chair Greenan. My job today is to introduce my mother, Olive, but I'm actually doing this on behalf of Shelley Cameron. Now, Shelley was the one who led the charge this time on nominating our mother. Shelley's father, Dr. Sheldon Cameron, was a recipient in 2006, and he and his wife, Isabel, were very, very kind to our family when we lived in Summerside. Also would like to congratulate Mr. Purdy and Mr. Simpson. I know Mom is very awed to be at the same event receiving this awesome award with you. Now, I'm introducing Mary Olive MacDonald Wall Bryanton. Mom is very proud of her family, which are the brothers and sisters are here today. Now, we don't really go by our own names. We go by Deborah, David, Vicky, Kathy, Michael, because we're never quite sure who's in trouble at the time, and that's the fastest way to get to us. Mom was raised by a multi-generational family. She was raised by her grandparents and a network of aunties, and they certainly did set examples for her, which she lives today. One of those aunties is still with us. She celebrated her 96th birthday by jumping on a motorcycle and driving through Prince County. When I returned to Prince Edward Island, having worked in Ottawa for many, many years, many people asked me if my mother had been nominated for this award. And I had checked on it, and there had been some efforts previously, but I, again, wanted to thank Shelley and the other contributors for the work that they did and the success this time. Now, I was asked in 3 minutes to outline the achievements of a 63-year-old or an 83-year-old who certainly has achieved much. But I was asked not to repeat the program, but instead to focus on what it is like for us to be with Olive. So first, my mother taught us always step up to the challenge. So as examples, after I was born, she is a daughter of the sea. She loves the ocean. She wanted to be sure that she wasn't going to lose her little baby in the ocean, so she and her best friend Connie took swimming lessons right away. She addressed that issue. She was afraid to speak in public. That may surprise people. So she took a Dale Carnegie course. She missed out on furthering her education, so she went back to university when she was 40. She said it's not an excuse. She did her bachelor's degree, she did her master's degree, and then didn't stop until she had her PhD. Now, no is not in our mother's vocabulary. So if you say no to her, you're just going to get her mad. So if she's told something isn't going to be possible, she kind of turns and looks at you and says, "Hold my beer." Now, in Mom's case, she doesn't really like beer, so it's more, "Hold my glass of robust red wine." She taught us, don't wait for others to take care of things for you, and don't whine that it's too hard. So she always had the expectation that we would further ourselves and find our own way to do it. So we were not a family of money, so when we all went on to our further education or undertook the steps we took, we did it our own way. And we did it with the love and support of our parents, but we had to find our own path forward to do it. Mom went to university as a mature student. She found that supports were aimed at young students, so she paid student fees, but most of the benefits of the student fees went to younger students. So she created a Mature and Part-Time Students Association at UPEI, and eventually became the president of the National Organization for Mature Students. She had a love of travel, but no money. So how do you deal with that? Well, you volunteer with many organizations. You become national presidents of many organizations. You can choose 4-H. You can choose Girl Guides. Mom got to travel much of the world. In my previous life, I was an international negotiator. I traveled to many countries. She's been places I haven't been. Respect for the contribution of older adults, and highlight those contributions and create programs to support them and keep creating. She doesn't stop when she's achieved one goal. She keeps going. And persistence to make sure seniors' voices are heard. Some of you in the room have found that. She attended demonstrations, like she was quite often on the front page of The Guardian, demonstrating for a cause. She knows very well how to reason with politicians and the powers that be. When Chair Greenan called to inform her of her award, Mom was not aware she had been nominated. She launched into her thoughts on the defunding of a seniors organization in Summerside before he managed to calm her down enough to tell her why he was calling. And third, it takes a village. Mom has a long list of achievements, but few of those achievements were solitary. She has this ability to make other people participate, whether they know they're participating or not. She sweeps them into her enthusiasm. She builds partnerships to get things done. She knows that one individual is not going to achieve the goal. You need to bring in so many people that can contribute. And she engages the village. She's always lived. Nothing for us without us. So if you're going to build for people, you involve them in that building. And finally, never stop sharing or learning. Seniors College was something that she and others had established a number of years ago. I've been participating in courses since I got back. It started with 3 or 4 courses. They now have had hundreds over the years. So these are really, really, really excellent opportunities for any of you. She still participates in advisory boards. With COVID, she now is an expert on Zoom. So she participates in national and international meetings on Zoom. Nothing will slow down Mary Olive McDonald Walbright. So thank you so much for the OPEI Advisory Council for supporting the nomination. And just when we think we couldn't get any prouder.
Thank you, Deborah. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to welcome our inductee, Ms. Olive Bryant, as a worthy recipient of the 2020 Order of Prince Edward Island. Congratulations, Olive. I would now like to invite Ann Dutton to please come forward and present our next inductee.
Your Honour, Premier, Mr. Greenham, distinguished guests, I became acquainted with Henry Purdy before I actually met him. And that happened way back, maybe 1979, 1980, I'm not sure. But the Confederation Centre had an exhibition called Island Images for any artists on the island. And as I walked through looking at the paintings, I saw this absolutely amazing, beautiful picture of a maple leaf. It was a perfect maple leaf. It looked as if it had fallen lightly onto the grass just moments before. But it had on it a beautiful drop of water, whether a raindrop or a dewdrop, didn't matter. They were just in juxtaposition with each other, highlighting each other. And I gazed at this, and later on, when I was thinking about this picture, words came to me from the poet John Keats, where he says, "Truth is beauty, beauty is truth." And the integrity of that painting, later on, I associated with the integrity of Henry Purdy himself. There are a lot of things when I reflect on that painting that show us the nature of Henry. He is such a great observation of and lover of nature, as well as and he is able to present those to us through his skill as an artist. Okay. And through his insightful observations, he is able to show us the extraordinary from the ordinary. And yet, and this maple leaf too was so intrinsically itself, as if it was saying, "I am here, look at me." It was just so beautiful. And I hope that everyone can experience that kind of awe and fascination through art of any kind. There are many facets to Henry, and later on my husband took several art courses with him, and we became friends with Henry and Gertie and get to know them a little better. When my husband died, as we had no family here on the island, I asked Henry if he would do the eulogy, and in his kind and gracious way, he agreed and did a wonderful job, and for which I shall be ever grateful. I have a feeling that Henry does not know the word no, because so many people have asked him for things, and he has agreed, and he has donated so many paintings to groups for fundraisers, and given his time and effort so generously. He has also been so very generous and supportive of our local church at Christ Church, Cherry Valley, and for several years, he and Gertie have picked up 3 women, myself and 2 others, very elderly women with mobility issues, and has taken us to church. He comes to our homes and picks us up, and then he drops us off again later. And that kindness and gentility, and it is so reflective of his nature. I have such great respect and admiration for Henry, and I can't think of anyone more deserving of this honor that he is going to receive today. Thank you.
Thank you, Anne. It gives me great pleasure to welcome our next inductee, Mr. Henry Purdy, as a worthy recipient of the 2020 Order of Prince Edward Island. Congratulations, Henry. I would now like to invite to the podium no stranger to this event and a member of the Order of Prince Edward Island, Mr. H. Wade McLaughlin, to please come forward and present our next inductee.
Good morning, everyone. Bonjour tout le monde. Votre honneur, Premier Dennis, Board Advisory Council Chair Gerard, 2020 inductees to the Order of Prince Edward Island, great friends, Olive, Henry, and Bev, family and friends. It's a sincere honor to introduce Bev Simpson for induction to the Order of Prince Edward Island. When we were kids growing up in Stanhope, there was a neighboring community of York, and one of the personalities that was well known to us was Bev Simpson. Among Bev's many distinctions were that he was the owner of a set of goaltending gear, as a former goaltender himself. And Bev was very generous in loaning out that gear. It didn't take much unless someone else was using it, if you wanted it. And there were many youngsters in that North Shore area and in York in particular who got rides and a lot of support when it came to getting to a hockey game as well from Bev. And he's carried on with that sort of involvement, kind of the go-to person in the community in so many respects. Also when we were young, if there was a church supper or a community dinner, Bev was known for the speed at which his feet moved to serve tables, to be the chef, to be the master ticket seller, and among the last to be there on the cleanup crew. That includes the roadside cleanups for which the community of York is famous, and its cemetery where Bev has been the administrator and the first one there for many years. His commitment to community in our own area is extended, of course, island-wide, with support for countless community endeavors and organizations, rural beautification, 4-H, Rotary, where he's a charter member of the club that he helped to found in 1987. Bev's support for community even goes to international efforts to eradicate polio, the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, and many others, including, of course, horticultural, agricultural, and trade associations. And of course, we can't forget, coming up again, 15 years as host of the PEI Giant Pumpkin, way off. Those are only examples. Bev is well known, and Premier spoke about that in his remarks, as an employer of many, a good employer, and one who leads by example in his own hard work and his business integrity. It's hard to imagine seeing Bev here this morning, but it seems to be a requirement of induction to the 2020 Order of PEI that people don't look their age. Bev has been coming up 65 years with Vesey Seeds, more than 40 of those years as president and general manager. And over that time, Vesey Seeds has become one of our province's best known and most relied upon brands. And as much as we know about Vesey Seeds, I think Islanders would still be surprised and pleasantly surprised to know that Vesey Seeds is the largest mail order gardening business in Canada, and one of the largest businesses to import Dutch bulbs in North America. And during the COVID-19 pandemic, Vesey's increased the number of employees and shifts to ensure that people could work safely. And this morning, Vesey's employees are gathered in 3 different locations to watch these proceedings live stream from their distribution and production facilities. And I'm sure there are many others in York and the North Shore and throughout the province who are proud to be part of this as well. Bev's a founding director and for 25 years, the president of the Stanhope Golf and Country Club, and helped to build that course, which celebrated its 50th anniversary this year in 2020. And it's really, you get to the character of Bev, beyond the particular contributions. It's his extensive involvement in and caring for a community. People know Bev as the one who shows up when there's trouble, comes with the packages to help out. There are very few people that I know who've been and continue to take part and pay respects at funerals and wakes with the frequency that Bev does. And annually, he's there at Remembrance Day to lay a wreath. And of course, there's Bev's pride in and priority for his own family, Shirley, Shelley, Laurie, Jerry, and their families. And the thing that when I was thinking about this this morning, that everyone who knows Bev, and many Islanders do, what people would all say about Bev is that he does what he does quietly. He gets things done, and he never seems to be in a rush. I spoke to Bev yesterday, and indeed, part of that conversation was Bev lamenting that in these COVID times, we're not able to come together to pay respects at the wakes and funerals that he's so regular in attending. And, as has been the case in other conversations with Bev about today's Order of PEI recognition, he said, I'd really rather be in the background. And Bev, I can tell you, and of course you're here today, with the three great inductees this year, in recognizing you, our province recognizes our collective character and achievements. And I'm going to close with a phrase or an expression, words that we heard as kids around home, my dad and Bev were great friends and partners in many things. But something we heard around home many times, and it was truly meant to be as an example to us. My dad would say, they don't come any better than Bev. Thank you.
Thank you, Wade. It gives me great pleasure to welcome our next inductee, Mr. Bev Simpson, as the most worthy recipient of the 2020 Order of Prince Edward Island. Congratulations, Bev. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Order of Prince Edward Island Advisory Council, I would like to congratulate all of today's recipients to the prestigious 2020 Order of Prince Edward Island. Would you please give them a round of applause? Photos of all recipients will be taken following the official ceremony in the back room, and then you will have the opportunity to get the family photos in front of the staircase. This brings a close to the official part of today's ceremony. Thank you for attending this year's investiture ceremony, and we would also like to provide special thanks to those assisting with today's ceremony, our pianist, Ms. Jacqueline Sorensen, along with her honor's invaluable staff. Would you all please rise for the departure of her honor and distinguished guests? Enjoy the rest of the day.